Hello, and welcome back to Psychology Market. Today, we're diving deep into something that shapes every single aspect of our lives, often without us even realizing it: habit formation. Think about it. From the moment you wake up, to what you eat for breakfast, to how you spend your evenings, habits are the invisible architects of our daily existence. And the beautiful, sometimes challenging truth is, these habits aren't set in stone. They are malleable, and understanding the psychology behind them can be incredibly empowering, leading to profound shifts in our well-being. We all have habits we cherish. Maybe it's your morning meditation, your evening walk, or that mindful moment you carve out with a cup of tea. These are the habits that nurture us, that ground us, that help us feel more in control. But then, there are those other habits. The ones that leave us feeling a little stuck, a little guilty, maybe even a little ashamed. That late-night scroll that eats into precious sleep, the quick sugary snack when we're stressed, the procrastination that looms over important tasks. These habits, while often born from good intentions or a desire for comfort, can quietly chip away at our goals and our happiness. The fascinating part of habit formation psychology is that it's not about willpower alone. In fact, relying solely on willpower is often a recipe for frustration. Instead, it's about understanding the fundamental mechanisms that drive habit creation. At its core, a habit is a learned behavior that becomes automatic through repetition. It's your brain's way of saving energy. Once a behavior is established as a habit, it requires much less conscious thought, freeing up mental resources for other things. This is why breaking a bad habit can feel so difficult. You're essentially trying to rewire neural pathways that have become deeply ingrained. So, how do these pathways form? Researchers have identified a three-part neurological loop that underlies habit formation. This loop consists of a cue, a routine, and a reward. The cue is the trigger for the behavior. It can be anything: a specific time of day, a certain emotion, a particular location, or even the presence of certain people. Think about how the side of your toothbrush might cue you to brush your teeth, or how a certain notification sound might trigger you to check your phone. The routine is the behavior itself, the action you take in response to the cue. This could be anything from reaching for a cigarette to getting up and stretching. Finally, the reward is the positive reinforcement that the brain receives, which helps it remember this loop for the future. The reward can be tangible, like the relief from nicotine withdrawal, or intangible, like the fleeting pleasure of a sugary treat, or the feeling of accomplishment after checking something off a to-do list. Over time, this cue routine reward loop becomes so automatic that we perform the routine with little to no conscious effort. Understanding this loop is our first powerful tool. To change a habit, we don't necessarily need to eliminate the cue or the reward. Often, the most effective strategy is to consciously change the routine. For example, if your cue is feeling stressed and your routine is to mindlessly snack, the reward is that temporary distraction and comfort. By identifying this, you can then experiment with a new routine. When you feel stressed, instead of snacking, perhaps you could try a few deep breaths, a short walk, or listening to a calming song. The reward of reduced stress, or a moment of peace, can then be associated with this new, healthier routine, slowly overriding the old habit. This process isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about being kind to yourself, recognizing that change takes time and effort. It's about curiosity, about experimenting with what works for your unique brain and your unique life. By understanding the psychology of habit formation, you gain the agency to reshape your life, to build routines that support your well-being, and to gently unlearn the patterns that no longer serve you. In the coming moments, we'll explore practical strategies and delve deeper into the science, empowering you to become the architect of your own positive habits.